A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Midday News, reaching you live from our studios at Souqnews Television. I am Oyinpriye Krumale. Now let's begin. The federal government has pledged to work with industry stakeholders to drive the implementation of the new national industrial policy with the goal of scaling industries and transforming West Africa's economic landscape. This commitment will beat the heart of discussions during the West Africa Industrialization, Manufacturing and Trade Summit and Exhibition 2025, scheduled to take place in October at the landmark center in the commercial city of Lagos. The policy is anchored on the Nigerian First initiative designed to promote local content and strengthen domestic industries. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Eno, explained that the administration will build on the past executive orders that supported industrial growth, but with stronger momentum through a nationwide campaign encouraging the patronage of Nigerian goods and services. He said Nigeria could generate about 3 trillion naira in additional earnings in the short term if citizens actively embrace locally made products. He stressed that the reforms, including exchange rate harmonization, are already stabilizing the economy, and that consistency in policy will attract more foreign direct investments. Now, the federal government has intensified its crackdown on illegal mining, with the Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dele Alake, ordering the immediate sealing of a gold mining site in Gwagwalada in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The minister's directive followed intelligence reports of unlawful mining activity after a gold vein was discovered by chance near residential areas. This comes barely 2 weeks after another site in the same district was sealed with 16 suspects arrested. Officials warned that such activities pose serious environmental and public health risks to nearby communities. During an on-site inspection, the ministry officials led by the Director of Mines Inspectorate expressed satisfaction with compliance to the order, while confirming that a full investigation had begun to trace the roots of the recurring incident. Mining marshals under the command of the Assistant Commandant Corps, John Atta Onoja, have now mounted roadblocks. The clock surveillance of the sealed sites pending the outcome of the inquiry. The minister urged residents to avoid the affected areas and assured that the enforcement and remediation measures are underway. Alake reaffirmed the government's determination to eradicate illegal mining, noting that satellite surveillance technology is being deployed nationwide to strengthen enforcement. He highlighted that over 300 illegal operators have already been arrested since the creation of 2,000-strong mine marshal units. Now, Nigeria's flood recovery received a major boost on Wednesday as the government of China donated $1 million to support victims in 6 northern states. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, and the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Donghai, signed the exchange notes in the Federal Capital Territory, formalizing and the aid target at the hard-hit communities in Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Borno, Taraba, and Adamawa. Bagudu described the gesture as timely, noting that it would strengthen the government's ongoing relief and rehabilitation programs while rebuilding livelihoods. He assured that the funds would be managed with transparency and monitored jointly with the Chinese embassy to guarantee impact. Ambassador Donghai reaffirmed China's solidarity, recalling that both countries have endured devastating flooding in recent years. He expressed condolences to the families affected and praised Nigeria's resilience, stating that the donation reflects China's confidence in the country's recovery efforts. In times of difficulty, China and Nigeria always stand together, the envoy said, adding that with the federal government's leadership and the people's determination, Nigeria will quickly rebuild and recover. Beyond humanitarian assistance, Donghai highlighted China's broader economic engagement with Nigeria, pointing to President Xi Jinping's recent approval of zero-tariff treatment on hundreds of export lines from African countries, including Nigeria. Now, Mexico is preparing to raise tariffs on a range of imports from China, including automobiles, textiles, and plastics, as part of its 2026 budget proposal expected next month. According to the government sources, the move is aimed at protecting local industries from rising competition while also addressing trade imbalances. Officials also signal that other Asian countries could face similar measures as part of the new trade framework. The proposal comes at a time when Mexico is positioning itself as a manufacturing hub for Northern America, benefiting from supply chain shifts and nearshoring strategies by global companies. By tightening tariff rules, the government seeks to encourage more domestic production and strengthen its role in regional trade partnership, particularly under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. China has expressed opposition to the planned measures, urging countries to act independently and avoid external pressures when making trade decisions. Despite this, Mexico's government is expected to move forward with the tariff increases as it finalizes its 2026 fiscal policy, signaling a tougher stance on trade practices that could reshape its economic relations with Asia. Now, the United States has officially doubled tariffs on Indian imports, raising duties as high as 50% on goods such as garments, germs, jewelry, footwear, sporting items, and chemicals. The new measure, introduced in response to India's continued energy trade with Russia, is expected to pressure exporters and threaten jobs across sectors heavily dependent on the American market. Despite the setback, Indian officials have assured that the economy remains strong and resilient. The government is preparing measures to cushion industries most affected, while analysts argue that the challenge could open opportunities for deeper reforms in trade and competitiveness. With a diversified export base, strong domestic demand, and a stable macroeconomic outlook, India is positioned to weather the disruption. Experts believe that this period of tension could serve as a turning point for India to reduce protectionist barriers, improve its global trade strategy, and strengthen its role as an alternative manufacturing hub to China. While short-term risk exists, the situation is also seen as a chance for India to attract fresh investments, advance structural reforms, and build stronger long-term partnerships within Asia and beyond. Many thanks for watching. Please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Souk News Television. I am Oyinpriye Krumale. Coming up shortly is Just Africa. Do stay with us.